Yo, what's up, man, y'all? It's Cully. Y'all tap in, drop the pumpkins if you're rocking out with the gang, man. Right now, I got something special lined up for y'all. I got my grandfather who will be, giving his life story to y'all. And I feel like this is big special to me, so hope y'all enjoy it. 81 years of wisdom right here, man. Right here from the family. So y'all tap in. If y'all got any questions, nothing too personal, nothing disrespectful, y'all hit the comments, let me know. Other than that, y'all listen, y'all enjoy. Hey, and we are live. Let's go. Introduce yourself to the people, Papa.
Hey, my name is Charles McDade. I was born December 23rd, 1940.
1940.
Yeah,
Okay, Papa, uh, give us, where were you born? 1940, where at?
in Denton, Texas,
Denton, Texas.
on Avenue S.
Is that a hospital?
No, it's street. I was born in hospital, but I
Oh,
lived on Avenue S.
oh, okay. Did you have siblings growing up?
Yeah, I had an older brother and a younger sister and brother.
And sister. Okay, so it was three of y'all. Okay. Um, what was your father's name
My father's name was Anthony McDade.
and your mother?
My mother's name was Beulah May McDade.
Okay. Now, coming up in Denton, Texas, the time you were coming up. Okay. Coming from Denton, Texas, Papa. Give us the rundown on how y'all came up and you and your siblings. How was the household ran and things of that nature? If you can go into depth on that, how was that for you as coming up as a kid?
Well, my parents, they was working and I had an older brother. He kind of looked out for everybody, while they was at work.
Hmm.
Other than that, growing up in Denton, it was a racist town. We lived in Southeast Denton, and
Okay.
you know,
So you were actually in Southeast Denton before it was what it is today. You were
right,
originally there from the start.
right.
Okay. So how did you have younger friends who all were affiliated in Southeast Denton, or you could migrate around and play around?
Everything back in the early 50s was done in Southeast Denton.
Okay.
Like where we are now,
Hmm.
and we could hardly come out in this part of town unless we were working.
Oh wow. Okay. Speaking of work, where did your father work?
We worked for Texas Women's University.
Oh, okay.
Back
Okay.
then it was CIA.
Oh, okay. I assume the schools were not what they were now. So, what elementary school did you go to?
Fred Moore.
Fred Moore?
Yeah, the high school and the elementary school was all the same
Oh, okay. They were the
campus.
same. Okay. Now, Fred Moore, was that an all black school?
Yeah,
That was an all black school.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I was wondering why they don't they got Denton High School, that's a public school.
Hmm.
Ryan High School, that's a public school. Is it why is it that Fred Moore is not like it's not a school that's accepted like Bryan is or Denton High is?
Hmm.
Why is it like that for Fred Moore?
Well, Fred Moore was a black school, and they closed it in '68.
Oh, okay.
Integration.
Okay.
So they closed Fred Moore, and then they opened it later as a know, school like troubled kids and dropped out of school.
It was like an alternative school for those kind of kids.
Right,
Okay,
right.
understood. Um, when it was when you were give us how high school was coming for you and school coming for you, was it difficult in school for you, or
No, it wasn't too difficult. I mean, we didn't have the books, the libraries and stuff. We had a small library, but you could go books, from North Texas University.
okay, okay, so University of Texas was here when that was one of the first schools here in Denton, Texas, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
North Texas.
What year did you graduate, Papa?
In 1958.
Where at?
Fred Moore.
Fred Moore High School. Um, do you remember your classmates?
Yeah, I remember.
Are any of them still here?
Uh, very few of us left.
Very few of them. Okay.
Probably,
Um,
probably less than 10.
oh wow. That, like I said, this is a lot of history right now. We're gonna have a few clips just going in depth on a lot of things. When you were speaking about how the household was ran when you were younger, what was some of the food selections y'all had growing up? Like, we can get up today and just go get some cereal. We can have a honey bun. What was some of the things y'all could eat back in the day when you were coming up?
Yeah. Well, we pretty much had cereal. Back then, most kids, they cook whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you had to fend for yourself sometimes out
that's
there.
right.
Yes, sir.
Parents working, you had to fend for yourself.
What was your first job?
See, my first job, I worked at a bowling alley.
Okay. Is that how you got into the bowling?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was before automatic pin setters. They had people actually setting the pins.
Oh, it wasn't the little thing that put them down. People
No,
had to go.
yeah, it was back there setting pins.
Oh, wow.
You put them in a rack, let the rack down,
Hmm.
and the pins there, and guys bowling.
Was that in Denton, Texas?
Yeah,
It was?
yeah.
What was the bowling center called?
Uh,
You
I think
remember?
it's Ford. The guy owning it was named L.J. Ford. And
Oh, okay.
it
Okay.
was just called bowling alley, but it was downtown.
All right. That's crazy, man.
That was way back. And I was about 10 years old when I started.
10 years old.
Yeah,
And from then on, it was.
yeah. But they'll let us bowl like on Fridays. They'll let the guys work in their bowl.
And what year?
That's
You
what
said that was 19, what?
that was about 52 or 3.
52 or 3?
Mhm.
Okay, so was there was there tension between races going in?
Yes.
A lot of tension between the races, even though you were working there and you were affiliated with the crew and staff.
Yeah, I could work here, but I couldn't bowl like.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, blacks couldn't bowl back during that time. But the guy that owned it, he would let us bowl, like on Mondays. It would close on
When
Mondays.
everybody's not kind of around.
Right, right.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. Give us the time when you're working. Um, I want to know, as your job, was it easy, like as far as economics and buying things? Was everything easier to come by, or was it harder back then?
Well, it was hard back then, but things were cheaper then.
Yeah, a lot cheaper then, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, good, good, good.
like back then, you could buy a pack of cigarettes about 15 cents.
What was the first cigarette package that they came out with that you bought?
Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strikes. And they still sell them too.
Yeah,
They still sell those.
yeah, about 15 cents a pack.
Speaking of smoking, um, now I understand you smoked probably back in your earlier days. What was this? What was the trigger to make you stop smoking? Was it something significant or a health hazard that made you stop, or you quit on your own?
I quit on my own. But I was smoking like when I first started out, 15 cents a pack, and they started going up.
Oh, okay.
And I said when they got $2, I was gonna quit. And when cigarettes got to be $2 a pack, I quit.
You- no questions asked, regardless
Yeah.
of whatever it was.
Yeah.
That is good. That's
Gave
good.
them up. And that was in '87.
87, you gave it up.
Yeah, I smoked for probably almost 40 years.
Up until that point.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man. Wow. $2 for cigarettes. Now cigarettes are $10 depending on what you smoke. That is crazy. That's crazy. When you speak on the the tension on the race and all that. Were there ever white children that you did, you know, coexist with or was cordial with growing up?
Yes, I knew a lot of white kids. In fact, I used to caddy out at the golf course, and all white boys,
Oh,
black
okay.
boys, we all got along.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay.
I knew a lot of
Was that a job or was that just something that?
just something we did as kids.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So when y'all were kids, it was what sports.
Yeah.
Um, did y'all watch? Was there a lot of TV going on then, or
No, not much TV.
not much TV at all, huh?
Yeah.
And like I said, I had showed you a question earlier when one of my followers, his name Plugged In. Shout out Plugged In. He asked, "Do you remember the first TV colored show you had watched?" And you had spoke on it briefly. Said it was the '50s. What were some of the TV shows growing up then?
Well, probably like Hop Along Cassidy. That was probably. There's another show they called Howdy Doody. It was a bunch of.
Bunch of that stuff going on.
Yeah.
So the Andy Griffith show wasn't on then at that
Oh,
time. No. No.
that came much later.
Much later. Okay. Okay.
But,
Good.
but Hop Along Cassidy, that was probably, they showed it quite a bit
Hmm.
back in the 50s.
Okay. Um, when did you meet my grandmother? What year was that when you met her?
Uh, 1956 or 7, something.
Something like that. I assume most people dated within their race then. So uh, when you see, like at times now, you see interracial couples, and I assume, how would you think back in your day if you would have seen an interracial couple? How do you think the public would have viewed that back then? It wouldn't have went down at all.
No, it was non-existent.
It wasn't even a thought of it.
No. Even the thought would have got you in trouble.
If you even
Just-
spoke about that or even
Or just saying something to white woman back then, you got in trouble for it.
and when you say trouble, do you it could be along the lines of anything, right? Back in them days, right? They could have did.
Yeah. That was way before integration.
When did the integration hit here?
Probably in the early 60s.
Early '60s in Denton, Texas. And in Denton, Texas, was it as bad as other places, or would you say it was worse? Or as far as you coming up,
Well, I mean, you just didn't mingle with them. You stayed in your
you
community.
stayed in your community and always stayed there.
The integration for school, I think that took place in 1968.
'68.
Yeah.
And when that went down, what was your personal thoughts on that when you know, witnessing that happening? Were you somewhat relieved, like, okay, we ain't got to tiptoe around and all that, or you were just like, hey, it is what it is?
Yeah, as far as the integration part, but I hated to see Fred Moore school closed.
Yeah, yeah. I was always wondering. I'm like, it seemed like okay, that MLK Recreation Center that came way later, right?
Yeah,
Way later.
yeah.
What was the first car you owned, or you purchased with your money? You went and got your own car.
1960 Chevrolet.
1960 Chevrolet. You remember what car it was?
It was a Monte Carlo white.
Out of all the cars you purchased and drove Paw, do you have a favorite one you owned?
Probably a 2002 Trailblazer.
Okay, you like the Trailblazers, huh? Okay. And he has one now today, y'all. He still has his white Trailblazer outside. Many miles, man, many years. Um, Sports. Did you play sports growing up?
You know, football, basketball, track, did it all.
Did it all. Hmm. Good. And was that for? Did you play for Fred Moore? Or
Yeah,
you
all
did?
Fred Moore,
You
yeah.
did. Okay. What position?
Basketball center. I was 6'4". I was pretty tall
Yeah,
back
yeah. You
back
look like
then.
you had some height back then.
And then played defensive end in football.
When it comes to football, I'm sure you've seen a lot of football in your life. Take us back when you first seen the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Do you remember where you were?
I was living here. I was in Denton.
You was in Denton?
Yeah.
You were already in this house right here.
Yeah.
When did you buy this house, Papa? When did you first move in?
1971.
1971. It was already built and all that. Okay. Okay. 41 years in this house right here. And what age was it when you met Granny?
I think I was about 16.
Okay. Now we got a picture up here. It says General Motors, 40 years of service. When did you become, you know, comfortable with working with cars, and how did all that come about, working with them?
I worked for General Motors in 1964 and worked up to 2006.
All the way till then. All the way till then.
But the way I got on, it was a football fan of Fred Moore. And they was going to hire some blacks at General Motors.
Mm-hmm.
So he called the coach and told him to send him as many of his football players as he could.
Over there to come work for him.
Yeah, to come work for General Motors.
And that was one of
That's
you were one of them.
I was one of them.
And stayed there for 41 years.
Stayed 42 years.
Did you have any injury? What was your worst injury working there, if you had any?
I never got hurt working there.
Wow. Well, Papa, I appreciate it. We got our first episode in. This is our first episode, y'all. We'll get in depth in on a lot more, you know. We'll talk about, you know, Quakertown, Southeast Denton, all that. He's been here for it all, man. So, y'all be on the lookout for the next one. Papa, I appreciate you. We'll do it again.
All right.
All right? Thanks.